All he had been and all towards which he grew must now be left behind or else transformed into a self of that which has no name. A moment of choice has come in the yogic pursuit of Ashwapati. All he had been and towards which he grew, he is climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. He has come all the way up to the house of the Supreme Creative Force. He is standing at her door. And therefore, what was there behind it, either he must abandon that and merge into it and disappear, or that which has no, or else transform itself into a self of that which has no name. This is a tremendous thing. Actually, in terms of the spiritual choice, this is a great moment in the sadhana of Ashwapati. You have done all that, you forget about that thing and go and merge there, or transform all that which is there behind. You have left something behind, transform that thing into that which you are seeking, or just forget about the whole thing and go and merge here. So a tremendous moment of choice has come in his sadhana. Now there are people who feel happy, forget about this world, I am not concerned with that, let me go and stay there happily. And there are also people who would like to do something for this world. In fact, in a certain sense, that was also the choice in front of Gautama Buddha. When he was on the doorsteps of Nirvana, so I was telling you that in the case of Gautama Buddha also, that moment of choice had come in sadhana. He was standing on the threshold of Nirvana. He could have disappeared into Nirvana. But then he was concerned about the sorrow of this world, dukkha. And he did not step into Nirvana. That is what we have called the Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Buddha. He stands back there. So in a certain sense, Ashwapati's moment of choice has come now here. Now, the difference between Buddha stepping back from Nirvana and Ashwapati stepping back from that moment is he is concerned about the sorrow of this world, Buddha, dukkha. But he has no clue, no solution. Who is going to remove the sorrow? How the sorrow can go away? Here, Ashwapati has a definite intuition that it is the Shiva, divine supreme power, who alone can remove the misery, the suffering, the death, the ignorance of this creation. So, he wants to step back from Nirvana in the context of sorrow, but he has no solution to offer for this creation. Ashwapati has that she is standing there and it is she alone who can do something for this creation. So that is a great difference between the spiritual status of Ashwapati and Buddha, I will say. All he had been and all towards which he grew must now be left behind, or else transformed into a self of that which has no name, the nameless, formless featureless, qualityless, into that transformed. Alone and fronting intangible force. Now, fronting intangible force. This is the Shakti. She is there. Buddha does not have the idea of the Shakti standing behind that. Alone and fronting an intangible force, which offer nothing to the grasp of thought. Of course, thought, mind cannot really understand what she is. You see. His spirit faced the adventure of the inane, nothing, blank. You see. Abandoned by the worlds of forms, so from the worlds of form, he strove. Now, he has given a form, but still he is striving. Who she is? Because she is an intangible force, ungraspable. What she is, of that he has no idea. He has no idea. Alone and fronting an intangible force which offered nothing to the grasp of thought, his spirit faced adventure of the inane. So, it is the spirit of Ashwapati who is really climbing up and coming to this point now, you see. When you say Ashwapati is climbing, actually it is the spirit of Ashwapati who is making the grand odyssey all the way up to that point, you see. Abandoned by the worlds of form is so. A fruitful worldwide ignorance founded there. Now this worldwide ignorance, well, it has a role to play. It has played its role. It has brought up creation from absolute void to something definite. Because nothing came the physical form, came life, came the mental being, came the spiritual process. So all these things have been the work of this worldwide ignorance. Prakriti, who has been doing that thing in ignorance, she has brought up all that thing. So that way, because this has happened so far, it is fruitful. Out of nothing this has come, so some kind of fruit has come up, you see, from that, has appeared, has born, you see. But when now you are meeting that intangible force, in front of that intangible force, this ignorance founders, stumbles, stops, shaking. It cannot stand it. A fruitful worldwide ignorance founded there, thought's long, far-cycling journey, touch is closed. So thought has come. Beyond that it cannot go now. It cannot conceive of anything at all. And ineffective, because the actor will. The action which has been taking place all along in ignorance, that will, which is driving things, that will also has become now ineffective. It cannot really deal with that intangible force. It is beyond its grasp capacity. The symbol modes of being help no more. So all these things which are there like symbols helping carry you forward, they are of no consequence. They are not of any avail to you at all. The structures, nation builds, collapsing, the structure, nation builds. That is the work of ignorance. World, fruitful world ignorance, worldwide ignorance. Nation builds, collapsing, failing. And even the spirit that holds the universe fainted in luminous insufficiency. Luminous insufficiency. It is bright, but that brightness is not sufficient to solve the problem of this creation. That brightness is not sufficient. The spirit that holds the universe, the spirit that holds the universe. I would say the spirit stands for Satchidananda. Yes. So high, therefore even the spirit even the spirit. The luminous is not, no, even the spirit who holds this universe, who is the creator of this universe, worldwide ignorance, etc., which one can understand that they will fade. But even that luminous spirit is helpless there. It is helpless because of its insufficiency. What is lacking? What is it lacking? Insufficiency. What does Satchidananda lack? That it cannot be really help, cannot hold what should happen here. Why should that luminous spirit faint? What is insufficient in it? The insufficiency is the divine power, Shakti, Mother, force, the executive force, the dynamism of the creative supreme. Unless that is present there, even Satchidananda is helpless. So the insufficiency of Satchidananda is in the lack of that supreme divine power operating in it. And therefore it fails, it fainted. Yes, it can stand all that thing, but helpless. I am sorry, I can't do much beyond that. So this is a very crucial discovery that Satchidananda, otherwise Satchidananda transcendent is there, so what? But unless the divine Shakti comes forward from that, nothing can happen. Penetrate in luminous insufficiency, in an abysmal lapse of all things built, all things built. Now, of course, the entire creation rising from the absolute zero to the transcendental world, these are all things built in manifestation. Abysmal lapse. Abysmal here means deep, profound. In the abysmal lapse of all things built, transcending every perishable support and joining at last its mighty origin, the sufferer self must melt or be reborn into a truth beyond the mind's appeal. The choice is the separate self must melt, disappear. It has no business to be there at all. It must disappear, melt into the supreme existence. And or else take birth into a truth beyond mind's appeal. So that is the choice again, means reiterating the choice. Now in the context of how this insufficiency can be removed. In the abysmal lapse of all things built, transcending every perishable support and joining at last his mighty origin, the supreme, absolute, that's the mighty origin, the separate self. Now, he is speaking of separate self. The individuality without the knowledge of oneness, that is what brings out separate self. See, in the beginning we had of oneness all these forms are. Although of one these forms of greatness are, everything is of that one, but that one, though he is present everywhere, those forms are not aware of that oneness. These forms are not aware of that The one who is present behind them is one. And that is what makes it separate self. This form, they become separate self, you see. By His breath of grace, our lives abide, although more near, etc. So there is the whole story is very well lit. The poet has consistently put everything in the proper form, you see. He has not forgotten what he has written everywhere. In an abysmal lands of all things, transcending every perishable support, and joining at last its mighty origin, the separate self must melt. One has produced forms, but as those forms have become separate self, that separateness has to disappear. Must melt or be reborn into a truth. Means these forms of one, they must take their birth in truth. Then the oneness is present in the truth form everywhere. The separate self must melt or be reborn into a truth beyond the mind. Of course, mind cannot understand all these things. All glory of outline, sweetness of harmony, rejected like a grace of trivial notes, expelled from being silence, nude, austere, died into a fine and blissful nothingness. So we become nothing like this, completely. All glory of outline, all this form, sweetness of harmony, musical notes, whatever you want to call them, rejected like grace of trivial notes, they appear very small little things. Trivial. The harmony is not deep enough, not profound enough, it is not kind of multiplicative. It will grow and expand and become more and more rich. Expelled from being silence, the being who has remained silent, that has gone away from it. Nude, austere, died into a fine and blissful nothingness. So obviously, that's the process is going on, the nirvana. In other words, this is the spiritual experience of Ashwapati, of throwing out whatever does not recognize oneness everywhere. That must go away, that separate self must melt. So although we are here, this is an alternative, either it must melt or transform.
What is this called? It means there is a choice to be done by Ashwapati?
Yes, no, Ashwapati is
What that is called?
or this is for Ashwapati. Now there are two possibilities open.
So he has to choose between
This within this two. But actually, in a certain sense, they don't really seem to be alternatives.
No.
They are not do this or do that. You see, they seem to be complementary. You have to melt yourself. Whatever separate self has to there, it has to disappear. Very disappear. So, in the strictest sense, it is not really an alternative. The demiurges lost the names and forms. This is what it was there, you see. This is the process of melting. The great schemed was that they had planned and wrought past, taken and abolished one by one. They means they had planned. Who had planned?
What is the demiurge?
Demiurge. Events are coming to here. Now, you see, he says now the great scheme was that they had planned and they stand for whom? For demiurges. It stands for demiurges.
What is the demiurge?
Now, see, there is something always there. Demi stands for us. Demi stands for half.
Half of what?
Demigod.
Demigod.
In that sense.
Half God.
In that sense.
Half God.
Demigod. Means almost God, but now we have become God, you see.
Who are the half gods?
Those who have become God from here.
On the way.
Yes, yeah. So all those urges which are there, you have to have beautiful things, you have to have lovely things, you have to have sweet things, you have to have nice things and all that. These are the urges present in us, and they acquire a certain kind of a maturity, a completeness, they become to me.
But then everything is abolished.
Everything is abolished. Not there means whatever exactly all that thing has gone away because it has come from here. Yeah. Demiurges, laws and names and forms. I want to be beautiful, I want to be knowledgeable, etc. I want to be powerful. These are the demiurges. In the richest sense. In the richest sense.
Names and forms comes very often in Sanskrit.
Both of them. Nama, Rupa. Nama, Rupa. Name, Nama, Rupa.
The way that you have expressed it.
Yeah. Name and form. Nama, Rupa. Yeah. The great scheme was they had planned and wrought. You see, they had built up the whole thing. All the structures were built up by them.
The meaning of demiurge in French. It's also a big magician, also magician.
No, it's not.
Half God, yes.
Half God, yeah. So how does he translate?
Demiurge in French, same name.
He just used a demiurge.
That's why Arti is telling you in French it means magician.
Big magician.
No, ours is not magician.
In French,
No.
it means magician.
I mean, demiurge means of course half
Yeah,
God.
but here it's
He used the same word.
Half God is a magician.
yeah.
A big magician is a half
We have
God.
quarter gods. We have quarter gods. Yeah.
But he has not used French equivalent.
No. Same word.
Demiurge?
Same word.
Demiurge is in French also?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. You can get some idea about the demigod from that. You see.
Demi is half.
Yeah, half.
Demi is half.
Yeah.
Demi literal of
You see, I mean, in Greek mythology, I got so many people. The father will be God, the mother will be mortal. Demiurges, laws and names and forms. The great means whatever has sprung up from here and climbed up to that great. See, it is important to see that he uses the word D capital. No, it's not a small thing, which have really become really beautiful, very spiritual, very enlightened, very powerful things. The great scheme was, they had, you see, it is they who had built these worlds. Planned and wrought, past, taken and abolished one by one. So everything which has been created, so that is the melting. The universe removed this colored veil. Obviously. Now, remove this colored veil. The multiplicity is what is indicated by color. Spectrum of light, of colors. Now that is forming a veil against that reality. This colorful creation which is there, that itself is veiling the supreme reality. In the case of the lower creation, our mind is a veil. It is our mind which is hiding the supreme truth. Satchidananda, covering up. The golden lid, as we have been saying, the golden lid, it is that which is keeping the truth away from us. See? The universe removed its colored veil, and at the unimaginable end, unimaginable, he is approaching the unknowable, so you cannot even, unimaginable end, of the huge little created thing appeared the vast in Godhead of the whole. So somewhere far, 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 Godhead is there standing. It is He who is, so to say, the cause of this riddle. Our faculties, whatever is there, they are unable to grasp Him at all. His feet, found based on life's stupendous way. the universe removed its colored veil, and at the unimaginable end of the huge riddle of created things appeared the far Godhead of the whole. His spirit, one base and lies stupendous reign, omnipotent, or a lowly seer of time, inward, inscrutable, with diamond gaze. Now there is a little problem here. At the unimaginable end, we can understand that. We can imagine that, what the phrase means. Of the huge riddle of created things, appear the far-seeing Godhead of the whole. Okay, is there. His feet firmly. He stands for whom? Is it Godhead? Or Ashwapati?
Yeah, the Godhead. That's Ashwapati. Godhead is Ashwapati.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, I would say for Ashwapati. He speaks on base on lies stupendous thing. His pronouns are the most difficult in Savitri. What does he say? From base on lies stupendous way. So it is he standing on those wings, Ashwapati. Yeah. Because his concern is life. His concern is life, not Godheads. Not Godhead, Ashwapati. No, his feet firm base on lies stupendous way, omnipotent and lowly seer of time. Lowly seer of time. Inward, inscrutable, with diamond gaze.
So his,
Yeah.
he said, his spirit, he is speaking about Ashwapati, it means omnipotent also.
Yeah, all these things apply to Ashwapati.
But omnipotent also is.
Well, that is really the point. What you are saying is,
I don't know if Ashwapati.
yeah, well, see, appear the far-seeing Godhead of the whole. No, I think, let us see, read again, let me read again, further, then we will get the clue. Attracted by the unfathomable regard, the unsolved slow cycles of their found return, to rise again from that invisible sea. Now this is for whom? This is for Ashwapati. It is not for the Godhead. Or the huge riddle of created thing appeared the fast in Godhead. Well, appeared to whom? To Ashwapati. To Ashwapati.
Ashwapati is manifested.
Yes. He is firmly based on life.
Yeah, look, but I understand that Ashwapati is in life. He is
Yes.
manifested. He has a body.
Yeah, well, he is concerned in life.
Behind him,
Yes.
Godhead.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. And he says that Godhead is the riddle. It is he who has created the riddle.
Exactly. He created it, but he is not aware
Yeah,
in this body.
I have seen it. Yeah. Appeared the far-seeing Godhead of the whole. His feet firm based on life's stupendous wing, omnipotent and lowly seer of time.
Yeah, this is
It's a great qualification.
This is Ashwapati.
Lowly seer, Ashwapati.
Yes.
Yeah. Lowly seer of time has to be Ashwapati.
Yeah. So,
Inward, again, designation of Godhead for inward. Inward, inscrutable with diamond gaze. Attracted by the unfathomable regard that explains the diamond gaze. Diamond gaze is the unfathomable regard. The unsolved slow cycles of their found return, to rise again from that invisible sea. This creation coming and going, the cycling, it is that what he is seeing with that diamond gaze. all from his fusions born was now undone. From his fusions, Asapati again. All from his fusions born was now undone. From his Shakti, from his power, nothing remained. The cosmic mind conceives. Eternity prepared to fade and seal the hue and imposition of the void. Now this seemed is seemed. Yeah. Eternity prepared to fade and seeing the hue and imposition of the void. So you, as if you see, it is imposed on the void. Space or the fluttering of a dream that sang before the ending into nothing so deep. Or poetry, sheer poetry, you see. Space was the fluttering of a dream. Space was the fluttering of a dream that sang. Space was 1 foot, deflect, 2nd foot, ring, 3rd foot, of a dream, 3rd foot, that sang, 4th foot, 5th foot. Space was, that is Kaki, defluttered, that is am, ring, that is spirit, of a dream, Anapest. Again, an am, you see. Oh, yeah. You got an Anapest here of a dream. Before descending into nothing, the spirit that dies not, and the Goddess self, seeing the bits projected from the unknowable. See, even the spirit that dies not, Satchidananda, and the Goddess self, what he is seeing there, they seem myths in the presence of the unknowable. From it all sprang, the spirit, the Goddess self, everything sprang from it. In it is called to cease. They will disappear in it, they have come from here. Well, that is what it means basically, this is what we have been saying all along. Satchidananda is the first child of the unknowable Supreme. But what that was, that unknowable, that stands for that unknowable, no thought or sight could tell. Well, obviously, because there is no thought also, you see. There is no sight cannot reach that, you see. Only a formless form of self was left. Formless form. What an oxymoron. Formless form of self was left. Now, we had seen in the case of Savitri's yoga, she attains formless liberation. Her form is moving like a shell. Even that disappears. And everything is encompassed by the non-being. That is the true nirvana. So, the formless form is this positive experience of nirvana which he is having here. In fact, even Buddha, when he says in the nirvana, the self is not there, he means that in a way. That only a formless form of self was left, a tedious ghost or something that had been. So it has become a ghost. Even Satchidananda has become a kind of a ghost there, you see. Unknowable. The last experience of a lapsing wave. Waves do disappear. Before descending into a boundless sea, boundless. The sea has no boundaries, no shores. Endless, endless, endless in every direction. It is into that the last ray also disappears. As if kept even on the brink of not its bare feeling into the ocean whence it came. So what is remaining only there? Only the bare feeling. All that ocean from it came. The wave had disappeared, but the wave while disappearing, it is keeping only the sense of the sea to which it belongs. Yeah. The wave is disappearing, it won't be there anymore. But still it remembers, yes, I come from that sea. Bearing feeling of the ocean, whence it came, a vastness brooded, free from sense of space. And everlasting nothing, and everlastingness cut off from time. A strange, sublime, unutterable peace, unutterable, means which is immutable, which is permanently there, which cannot be changed at all. Unmoving, silent, rejected from it, world and soul. See, soul also, nothing. It rejected world and soul. One can understand word, but also the soul. Yes, obviously. Yeah. But this is there because he is experiencing formless form. So, silent, rejected from it, word and soul. It rejected word and soul. It rejected. Does not mean the soul has disappeared.
How can the soul disappear?
Say sublime, unutterable peace, silent, rejected from it, world and soul. It is the peace which is rejecting world and soul.
How can the peace reject the soul?
It does not admit anything.
Unmanifested.
It is not admit. Well, in a certain sense, it is the Buddhanic nirvana, Buddhistic nirvana. There is no self there. There is no soul there.
Is it nirguna?
Yes, it is a kind of nirvana. That unutterable peace is nirvana.
Nirguna Brahman.
No, even you can't say even Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman is a quality still.
Avyakta.
It is simply it. It is simply it. See, he uses the word phrase very meaningfully. Unutterable peace. This is a typical Buddhist phrase. Immutable peace. When you see the statue of Buddha, huge big granite statue in the cave of Buddha, huge, gigantic. Finally what happened? You don't see the statue at all. You only see peace. So what you really, you are seeing a big huge statue of Buddha there. So when you are seeing it intently, what do you see? The statue disappears and only solid peace. Only peace. The solid disappears. Only peace, that's all. Unutterable peace. So what has happened? The world is gone, soul is gone, everything is gone. Where is the statue? That is the formless liberation. That is the formless liberation. The formless liberation has its own beauty. Normally beauty is associated with form.
Of course. How can the form let
Yeah, see that itself is so beautiful.
How can
It is so delightful, so happy. Yeah. So when you see that place, what you see is very beautiful. The feeling.
beautiful is a form.
Yeah, I just said you are looking at the statue. You are looking at the statue has disappeared, and you only see solid peace, and that is the feeling of beauty.
From this last sentence, rejected from it, word and soul, we can understand that the soul is completely different from the self.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it means the soul is part of the manifested world.
Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. So it will disappear. Yeah, obviously. Of course. Yeah. Silent, rejected, from it, word and soul, obviously. A stark, companionless reality. Therefore now it is companionless. Nobody is around.
No more one.
Only peace or whatever, only formlessness.
No duality.
Reality only. What is only reality, that's all. He uses the word companionless to tell that this companionless is the relationship with what he had described earlier. Answered at last to his soul's passionate search. So that, now it is that reality which is beyond world and soul and form and all that, it is that reality which is answering him. His soul's passionate search. So, although he is on the door of the unknowable, he has not forgotten the purpose for which he is going all the way up to that point.
Can you repeat it, please?
Why he is
Why is that? Yeah.
So he dissolves
What
himself
is
completely.
Yeah,
He has
that
not forgotten
remains.
the purpose.
That remains. The purpose is still.
That he has not forgotten at all. You see.
That's the reason.
Very good.
That is the firmness. Exactly. Yeah. I am here for a certain thing. I am not going to budge away from that.
Looking for answers.
He has not forgotten. Answered at last to his soul's passionate search. That is why it's a passionate search. So, this is the quality of the soul of Arsapati.
He doesn't let go. He wants
Yeah,
to happen.
I am not going to give up what I am here for.
Whatever happens, I want it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he is really going through it.
Although it is a passionate search, yet it is passionless, wordless. Although it is passionate, yet it is passionless, wordless, absorbed in fathomless peace, keeping the mystery none would ever pierce. It proved inscrutable and intangible, facing him with a dumb, tremendous calm. Passionate, wordless, absorbed in fathomless peace, keeping the mystery none would ever fear. It proved it.
How can you give him a reply?
Wait.
Yeah. Now this it stands for what?
It's when the stars do compassion, companionless reality.
That it stands for reality.
Yeah. Companionless reality.
It proved inscrutable and intangible, facing him with his dumb, tremendous calm. Dumb, he is not speaking, but the calm is tremendous.
So how can you give an answer?
He is not answering. Reality is there. It is there in tolerant reality. He has used the phrase earlier, intolerant reality. Does not tolerate at all. Intolerant reality. In the case of Savitri's yoga, there is there intolerant sovereignty. Intolerant sovereignty. That there intolerant reality. It grew inscrutable and intangible, facing him with his dumb, tremendous calm. It had no kinship with the universe. It doesn't care about the universe. There was no act, no movement in its past. This is mobile, intangible. Life's question met by silence died on her lips. Her on life. No movement is life's question met by its silence died on her. So life is asking a question, but that question has died on her lip. already. The worst effort, she is convicted of ignorance. Please give you some examples. What happens to life? What happens to world? The worst effort, she is convicted of ignorance. It cannot do anything at all. Finally, knows, no, not Palaya. It cannot get any answer. Yeah, it's not Palaya. It is not answering at all. There, this all. The worst effort, she is convicted of ignorance, finding no sanction of supernal light. There was no mind, so this is life, world, mind. There it is need to know. There was no heart, there it is need to love. You don't need heart to love. You don't need mind to think, to know, to understand. All person perished in its namelessness. Well, that is the summary. The integrity is the formless liberation again. Is the formless liberation. All person, whatever there is, mind, heart, etc., everything, all perish in its namelessness. There was no second, there was no partner or peer. Only itself was real to itself. A pure existence, safe from thought and mood. A consciousness of unshared immortal bliss. So, existence, consciousness, bliss, Satchidananda. It dwelt alone, is bare infinite, one and unique, unutterably soul, nothing else. So there you are.
This is Satchidananda.
Yes, this is pure existence.
Yeah.
Satchit, Sat,
Yeah.
consciousness, Chit, this Ananda.
But I thought there is a connection to the manifested world.
Everything now, it dwelt aloof. It is bare infinite. It cannot be anything. One and unique, unutterably soul. That's all.
Then why do we want that this world comes here?
Nothing now, what is in the presence of unknowable, it is bare, not doing it all. In a way, without any action, without any movement. There was no second, it had no partner or peer, only itself was real to itself.
So this is Nirvana.
Huh?
This is Nirvana. Or
No, this is not
this
the,
is above.
yeah, beyond that.
Beyond.
Yeah. No.
Still beyond.
This is the unknowable.
I know that.
This is the unknowable. This is
Out of the manifestation, unmanifested.
beyond the supramental manifestation, beyond Satchidananda is the unknowable.
Paradaman.
Paratara Brahman, if you want to call it that way. So you have got the lower hemisphere, you are in the transcendent, beyond the transcendent you are climbing up again, and you see the unknowable, that nothing can be conceived, imagined, thought. It is neither this nor that. Yet it is this, it is that. Iti, all those things are there completely. So that is the state into which Ashapati has entered. Now, the important thing is, however, he has not forgotten what all this is for. This is soul's passionate search. Is still there with him. In the case of Savitri, it was slightly different. She would have merged into the absolute nothing. Annul thyself that only God may be. That was the command given to Savitri. Annul thyself that only God may be. She would have completely got lost to this creation. Completely lost. But then there is a kind of a memory in her. What for I come? Have I come here to disappear into that? That memory is there, lingering. That memory does not go away. It is there, already present in the depths of her soul. And the soul does not give up that memory, you see. What for I come here? Why have I taken this birth? And then later on, of course, we have seen that the world mother, the great mother, the mighty mother, pulled her child back. Savitri was pulled back into this creation. Savitri, you have not come here to disappear into that. You have come here to do some work. The earth mother pulled her back. And then Savitri's work starts dealing with death. That she has not forgotten. But that experience, annul thyself, was important, was necessary, because only with that experience, all that is of inconscience in her, she had taken the birth in the inconscience. All that is of inconscience in her, that has to go totally away, it has to totally disappear, completely disappear. That is the nirvana. That is the full nirvana. All that is in you of inconscience, that must be blown out, that is nirvana. But that does not mean that you have to disappear. You have to blow out inconscience, but not yourself. So that purpose is not lost. In the case of Ashapati also, soul's passionate search is there. I have come here to seek an answer. And I am not going to forget that, you see.
Can I ask you a funny question? They are the avatar. So it's now I understand they have a mission. They cannot stay there because they have to come back and bring the Supramantra. It's their mission. But if an ordinary being human, he can attain this level. He don't need to come back. He doesn't have any mission. Can he go?
No. Then what are you going up there for?
If any seer.
You are going up there for what?
I don't know. I cannot go there. But if any.
No, whatever it is. You means.
It's to go above.
What I'm saying is an individual.
Go to Satchitananda, you don't need to come back.
But that is one choice possible.
There is
that is a choice. You can go and stay in the world of immortality.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
It's possible.
For what purpose then?
You go and just stay there, enjoy immortality there, all happiness, beauty, whatever is there.
Yeah. What is the other choice? If
the choice is your soul can make. No, I want to come back and serve this humanity.
No, this is avatar who has.
No. Even the individual.
Oh, really?
Yes, even the individual. Actually, the Gita is very particular about this thing. After getting full liberation, mukti, full freedom from everything, from nature, you are supposed to come back to do work in this world. Loka Sangraha. Loka Sangraha. He says he uses the word, he uses the phrase Loka Sangraha. Loka means for the benefit, for the good of the humanity, of the creation. So that is the injunction of the Gita. You are not going to go and merge there into me. Well, that is a possibility. But the greater choice is, with all that freedom now in your possession, go back to the world and serve the world, serve the creation.
Is there some being
You may not be able to solve the problem. You may not be able to solve the problem of this creation, but you can contribute your might, your strength, your punya, your merit. You can do a bit of yours in this creation. That is required, that is expected of you. That is expected.
you are not supposed to do the easy way out.
You are not supposed to do. Actually, what it means is that
You are supposed to leave. To leave, yes. But do we know, I mean, is there
No, actually,
people who did it?
what it means is that you have a double role. You are an individual, but you are also a part of the collective.
Yeah.
You are also a part of the collective. Yes, as an individual you have attained all that thing, but then you are a part of the collective. What you have done for the collective?
Yeah.
Come back, serve it. Serve it. Loka Sangrahartha. Loka means world, population, creation. Sangraha, uplifting, building up, you see. He is very particular about that. He says, you are Jivana Mukta, free from all the bondages of the world, of life, of existence, completely free. Does it mean that you go and live elsewhere? No, your duty is to come back. Action here in this world is what is expected of you. As a member of the collective, you can't forget that. In a certain sense, it is a kind of an obligation. Yes, you have grown up, gone up there. Have you gone up there without any contribution of the collective? In their own way, they help you to climb up. They help you to climb up, go up. Then how can you forget them? Come back and serve them also. The same problem arises as an individual in our society. You might be a very great genius and you would like to discard all the rules of the society. Up to a certain point it's okay, you want to be free without the bondage of society also. As a genius, you might be able to do that thing up to a certain point. But then there is an obligation of you to serve the society also. You can't simply say, I am above the society. Aware forever is motionless depths, uncreated and unborn, the one by whom all live, who lives by none. See the same question again, who lives by none. What the canto began with is connecting that thing back to this one. The one by whom all live, who lives by none, and immeasurable luminous secrecy, guarded by the ways of the unmanifest. Now it is that unknowable, it is that which is guarded by the ways of the unmanifest. The non-manifest covered by the unmanifest. The non-manifest covered by the unmanifest. Guarded by the ways of the unmanifest. Now this phrase, ways of the unmanifest, this is actually an Upanishadic phrase. About the changing cosmic interlude, about supreme, immutably the same, a silent cause offered, impenetrable, infinite, eternal, unthinkable, alone. See, it is not like this. Huh?
He has to go far.
Yeah, hello. See this. See, you play this alone elsewhere in the sequence. You put here cause alone, occult, impenetrable. Put anywhere else, it doesn't have the power. Alone has to come absolutely the end. See. Now, see the number of adjectives is piling up for cause. That cause, silent, occult, impenetrable, infinite, eternal, unthinkable, alone. He has piled up 7 clauses, adjectives for cause. Above supreme, immutably the same, unchanging because it is unmanifest. It is in the manifestation that the change can take place. Above supreme, immutably the same, a silent cause, occult, impenetrable, infinite, eternal, unthinkable, alone. It is that which makes the line mantrik. It is really mantrik. Just recite again and again, a silent cause, occult, impenetrable, infinite, eternal, unthinkable, alone. Just repeat again and again these 2 lines, you see the kind of vibrations which start setting up in the body itself. The body itself starts feeling the power of that line, you see. Very powerful, very mantrik lines. Above supreme, immutable, the same. That is narrative. Until now it is narrative. But now the real mantra comes. A silent cause, occult, impenetrable, infinite, eternal, unthinkable, alone. All this is the qualification of the one. All measures fail there. And that is why it is a luminous secrecy. What a wonderful phrase it is. See, it is too much light, you can't see anything at all. You don't know what is there inside.
Everything is there in potency.
Yeah.
Potentially, everything is.
Yeah, and so you need some kind of variation
You can
because.
create millions of different
Yeah.
universes out of it.
So it becomes a secret thing. Guarded with the ways of the unmanifest. See. About the changing cosmic interlude, about supreme. Now this also of course, supreme stands for one, immutably the same stands for one. This is the description of that one. In reverse, the poet has managed to describe the unknowable. To tell something of what is immeasurable. This is what we were talking last time also. A being, formless, a being, formless, featureless, knew itself. It stands for that being. It stands for being. It stands for being. Because it is formless, featureless and all that. Uncreating, uncreated and unborn. Unborn, uncreated, uncreating. That is Swayambhu. Self. I mean, he is not born. He is the womb of this creation. But there is no womb from which he comes out.
But he creates.
He becomes the womb. He becomes the womb.
Yeah.
But there is no womb from which he comes out.
Oh, there's nothing. No.
No.
That's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
But he creates the Mahashakti.
Yes.
Oh, that's the only
He creates everything.
But he creates the Mahashakti and then.
Mahashakti is one aspect of it. Yeah.
I thought he creates
Yeah.
the Mahashakti
Yeah.
and then.
All that thing. That's right. Exactly.
So he's only creating one
Yes. Yes. He is the womb of everything.
prayer.
He is the womb of everything for whom there is no womb.
Yeah. But then the Mahashakti can go into the one and take all the potentials out
Yeah,
of it.
she goes by what he wills.
So what he will.
She goes by what he wills.
So he does something.
Well, I mean, to her,
He wills.
This is a
But he
she does.
featureless and mute.
She is mute, that's right, but for her, there is no question of being mute. For us,
For us.
we stupid people.
Oh, for the Mahashakti.
No, because she is there directly in contact with him.
So the one being tells her what she wants her to do.
Yes.
That's it. He doesn't say here.
No. Whatever has to be done, it is done through her.
That is clear.
Through her. We have read that passage, but let us read it again. We have done it earlier, but we will read again this one. Yeah. The absolute, the perfect, the alone. That is unknowable. Book 1, Canto 4. Canto 4. The absolute, the perfect, the alone, has called out of the silence his mute force.
It's Mahashakti.
That is his will.
But it's not.
That is his will. Called out of the silence his mute force. She is not active at the moment here in the first stage. He has simply called, summoned her. Where she lay in the featureless and formless hush. That is her first state. Featureless and formless hush. Guarding from time by her immobile sleep the ineffable presence of his solitude. He is there asleep, and it is the solitude of his she is guarding. So the absolute there, she is here, and she is guarding from the rest of the thing, his sleep. That is the unknowable. You cannot enter into that. You cannot enter into it without her also. Where she lay in the featureless and formless hush, guarding from time by her immobile sleep the ineffable presence of his solitude. So he is alone. That is what we are saying. Alone, solitude. That is the first step. In non-manifest. So this sentence is actually pertaining to the non-manifest, unknowable. Then what happens? The absolute, the perfect, the alone. He is repeating the first line. Has entered with his silence into space. How does he enter? Because he has called his mute force. He has called his mute force. It is through that mute force, Mahashakti or whatever you call it, it is through her he has entered with his silence into space, into time, into movement. He has fashioned his countless persons of one self. He lives in all who live in his vast alone. Space is himself, time is only he. Now all this has happened because of her. Because of her. He has come into manifestation because of her. Now of course, he is talking here in this particular case directly in terms of space and time. He is not talking of Satchidananda at this point. The absolute, the perfect, the alone has entered with his silence into space. He has fashioned these countless persons of one self, the multiplicity, the creation here. He lives in all who live in his vast alone. Space is himself and time is only he. So that is the second step. He is there alone without any action in the movement. Then he has summoned her up and he has entered into action. Then the third thing is the absolute, the perfect, the immune. Now that alone has become immune.
Immune of what?
Of this creation into which he is entering. He is not touched, he is not affected by all these things.
Like oil
He is
and water.
immune.
Oil and water.
He is immune of all these things. Until now he was alone. Until now he was alone. He has entered into creation, yet he is immune from the creation.
Even by his own
Yeah.
creation, he is not.
He remains untouched by creation. One who is in us as our secret self, our mask of imperfection has assumed. He has assumed, but still he is there. He is immune. Our mask of imperfection is assumed. He has made this element of flesh his own. He has come into this existing life. His image in a human measure cast. That to his divine measure we might rise. Why he has come? The reason of his coming is that to his divine measure we might rise.
Long way, huh?
Now he says we might rise.
Right. Yeah, not the oil. Some only.
Yeah, there is a double responsibility. There is a double responsibility. We have to do a bit of our own thing. He has to do also a bit of his own thing. That is divine measure. We might rise. Then in a figure of divinity, after having risen, then in a figure of divinity, the Maker shall recast us and impose a plan of Godhead on the mortal's mold. So that is what is meant by rising to his divinity. Might rise in that. Then in a figure of divinity, the Maker shall recast us and impose a plan of Godhead on the mortal's mold, lifting our finite minds to his infinite, touching the moment with eternity. Well, that is obviously. Now, this transfiguration is us due to heaven. It has to happen. Earth demands it. It has to happen. A mutual debt binds man to the Supreme. There is a double obligation of man and Supreme. There is a double obligation. His nature we must put on as he put away, because he has come here, taken our shape, and yet remains immune, but he has taken that thing. We are sons of God and must be even as he. That is the obligation on our part. Our human portion, we must grow divine. Our life is a paradox with God for thee. That's the famous line. See. So basically, now what we are seeing now are these two sentences in the context of the unknowable. Ashwapati is pursuit to the unknowable. Now, here he has not described we must rise, etc., etc. Okay, fine, but please tell me how to do that. That is not described in this passage here. Now, Ashwapati has to find out. Ashwapati is in search, passionate search is there. Look, I am here looking for some answer. Who can give me that answer? It is there that he meets the Divine Mother, the silent force who has come out, who was called by him. Called out of the silence is brute force. It is she now who has to be approached by Ashwapati. It is to her that he has to make his prayer, make invocation, please come down and do something for this mortal creation. That is the pursuit. He is going to meet this force here. The whole unknowable pursuit is for that purpose, to meet this force. I think we might stop as well with that.
This was a good ending.
Pardon?
This is a good ending.
Yes.
This is a good ending.
Wow, this is a fantastic ending.
But only see, the context is different, the language is different, the style is different than what we heard there. So that we have to understand. But the essential stuff is here. the essential stuff is here.
Is it implied that everybody who has taken the soul and the body is part of this? Or not?
No. His problem is specific. He has gone with a problem. He is in search of a solution for his problem. His problem is, what about his mortal creation?
Yes, exactly.
And who is to give the solution? She. So he has a problem. It is a kind of a specificity in his sadhana. We have not found out ourselves what exactly we want to do. We have not found out for ourselves what we want to do. No sadhana.
This is meant for us.
Yes.
This task, this mission is for us.
Yes. This mission is for us. Yeah.
Now, my question is only if everybody who has taken soul and body is part of this transformation or not.
No, it's a choice of the soul.
It is
The choice of the soul.
choice of the soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
The choice of the soul.
Chooses,
Yeah.
I don't want to have this, I decide myself.
Yeah, exactly. I am happy there, forget about root to power of inspiration.
Yes.
See, the choice of the soul is important, is an imperative. Now, the soul may be happy, the soul may be happy in the world of immortality. All beautiful, nice, everything is there, everything is there, everything is there, whatever. But then you remain static, you don't grow, you don't progress, you don't expand, you don't flourish.
But you avoid.
You are frozen. You are frozen there.
So,
It is static.
But in the dynamism of activity, if you want to make progress in that way, then all the doors keep on opening. New windows start appearing in front of you.
so actually the soul existed before this universe of
Yes.
creation, no?
So the soul has to decide.
Yes. So the soul came here by its own decision.
Huh?
The soul came in this universe by
Yeah.
the
By
own
choice,
decision.
but now whether that choice of the soul is already predetermined, that you can't say. It has now in front of it available possibilities. Here so it does make the choice. It does not come predetermined that I will do this or I will go back. Then why should we come?
Exactly. Then it could have stayed there.
Exactly.
But the soul maybe has manifested itself in other universes before,
Yes.
because we are eternal. Soul is eternal, so it could be has lived in another universe already.
No, I mean the soul is already there, our central being always there, always there.
Yeah.
Now when it comes into manifestation here, in the evolutionary manifestation, it has a choice to make.
Exactly.
When it comes to the evolutionary manifestation, it is a choice to make.
Yes.
Whether you want to go back and stay there or remain in the evolution and make progress in evolution from knowledge to knowledge, from beauty to beauty, from joy to joy.
But is this the first, do you think this is the first experience of the soul in the manifestation in the evolutionary universe?
Yes.
Or was it before also something evolutionary?
No.
It did not exist?
In the transcendent, it is frozen. It is there as an
Always.
entity, but no expansion, no possibility here.
So we, as a soul, we have not lived in another universe
No.
manifestation.
Now we are in the manifestation now. In fact, now actually we are not only in manifestation, we are stuck in nature, in Prakriti.
In prison.
In Prakriti, we are in prison.
Yeah.
First thing is you have to get out of that prison, out of that ignorance, out of that inconscience, and then decide what you want to do.
You come back to
Yeah. Yeah.
But we know we are in a prison. And we
I-
are close to God.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad that we are in prison. But people don't even know that they are in prison.
This is already a good thing.
At the moment, I mean, we are stuck here. We have accepted this condition of mortality. We are bound by mortality and the laws of mortality. Why, after becoming free of laws of mortality, you can decide what you want to do. Then is your real free will, free choice, freedom is there. Now it is governed by nature. Now it is governed by, now it is governed by nature. So the first condition is get out of these boundaries and then decide what you want to do. Then the freedom, then the free will starts operating.